And hello and welcome back sa CFS PH Impact 2024 Summer. Ako nga pala si Sneaky Frog, kasama ko si Aaron. And nagbabalik na naman ang favorite G-League tournament dito sa ating screens. Man, I'm so happy sa mga games na nakita namin kahapon ni R2G. And hopefully it's the same vibe, no? Kagaya na nakita natin yesterday.
Yeah, definitely. Kasi nakita ko nga on the results kahapon. Napaka-interesting din kung paano nakakukuha rin yung mga teams ng 2-1 score and nakakuha rin ng mga 2-0 sweep. But for now, may mga teams ngayon na 2 beses sila maglalaro for the day number 4.
The games going up against two teams, to be specific, two teams, Emilion and Somsui. There we go. Pero titignan muna natin yung tournament calendar. Of course, meron pa tayong 3 weeks worth of CF action and ito na yung final day ng week number 2. Playoffs is gonna be on July 11 and 12. So, abangan nyo lang once that comes around.
So yeah, definitely may natitira pa tayong 2 week for the group stage. Pero syempre, titignan rin naman natin ang tournament overview kung paano nga ba yung nagiging action dito sa ating group stage. We have 8 teams at syempre, single round robin with a best of 3 series. And on to the playoffs, 4 na teams lang ang makapasok. Single elimination na best of 5. And a total of prize pool natin na pinaglalabanan is 2,500 USD. And the ating mga maps is Compound Fort, Mexico, Eagle Eye 2.0, Subbase, Black Widow, and Ankara.
And yeah, we are gonna see yung teams, of course, na maglalaro dito sa CFS PH Impact. And we do have Vanguard, Somsui, Ubek Maniac, GT White, X-Solo Q, REA7, SBK, Emilion Gaming, at a Herbie Gaming team.
Definitely, katulad nga ng sinabi mo kanina, Vanguard, 2 beses sila maglalaro, and especially the side of REA7 na interesting din kung paano nga etong 2 teams na to na 2 beses sila makapaglaro ngayon for the day number 4. So, let's see sa mga teams natin kung kakayanin nga ba talaga nila. We still have Somsui, Ubek Maniac, and especially Emilion Gaming and SBK rin na makikita natin for today.
Pero papakita muna natin dito yung standings para dito si CFS PH Impact. And you know what they told me? Or what the standings tell me here, Aaron?
Ano yun?
Walang number 1 team dito sa... Walang number 1 team dito sa Impact, that's for sure. The closest thing we have to a number 1 team siguro could be Vanguard. Kasi HGT, they took their first loss against, against Somsui. Of all teams, no? I think magkasama tayo nung nagcast tayo ng yung sweep ng Somsui. Or rather, Somsui got swept against yung X-Solo Q and then yun nga. It's topsy-turvy dito sa CFS PH Impact so far. You really don't know what's gonna happen.
Kaya talagang makikita natin in terms of the team standing kung paano nga ba yung mga kailangan nila may panalo for today in order for them to take this top 1 rank. We still have Vanguard dun sa top spot. Second place naman, X-Solo Q, Herbie Gaming team for the 3rd spot, Somsui for the 4th spot, Emilion Gaming para sa pang-5 spot, 6th place naman, REA7, SBK ESPORTS for the 7th place, and last, Ubek Maniac GT White. So, kailangan talaga nilang alamin kung paano madiskartihan yung kanilang placing kasi 4 teams lang ang makakapunta sa playoffs.
Yup, and that's why it's very exciting. Kaya nga na sinabi ko kanina, no one is in first. So, until now, actually nasa week 2 na tayo, we have played a bunch of matches pero hindi pa talaga tayo sure kung sino talaga ang lalabas dito sa top 4. So, yun it could be Ubek Maniac. Honestly, ang dami silang good moments and they could come back from this 0-3 very easily. Pero yun nga, we are gonna take a look at today's matches. Of course, we do have REA7 versus SBK, Vanguard versus Emilion, UM2 versus REA7, and Somsui versus Vanguard. I'm particularly excited dun sa last series natin.
So, ang dami nating abangan, ang dami rin natin kailangan tignan ng mga teams in terms of their standing kasi this is gonna be a 4-series game and a best of 3 match. So, napakahabang gabi naman ang ating masasaksihan. Katulad kahapon, nakakuha sila ng mga 2-1 score. May mga nakakuha rin ng mga 2-0 sweep. But definitely for today, interesting kung lahat ba ay aabot sa map number 3 or makakuha ng magandang sweep lang.
A bunch of map number 3s actually dun sa laruan natin kahapon. REA7 and Amelion went the distance, went to map number 3 and resulted in REA7, yun nga, finally collecting a win dito sa week number 2, winning dito sa Ankara 13-11. And Somsri going all the way to map 3, facing itong Herbie Gaming team on Black Widow going 10-6. So maybe it's the same thing today. Feeling ko medyo maganda yung schedule natin for week 2, but para dito sa week number 2 or rather sa day 2 na week 2, it could be a bit different, but we are gonna have the introductions of course ng mga teams and we are gonna have REA7 first.
And there we go, REA7, we have Charles, Zik, Arsec, Silen, and VHA or VA for their team. So interesting rin talaga kung ano pa yung kaya nilang ibigay or ibuga for today's matchup because again, ulitin ko lang ulit, may dalawang match etong 5 players na to up against the side of SBK and definitely Ubek Maniac Beauty White is di rin biro bilang kalaban nila.
Yep, that is for sure. Yeah, SBK gonna be up next, my friend. And ayun na nga, SBK. Man, my heart goes out for this team. Honestly, Aaron, they need some redemption. We do have Ishida, Z-Brian, Linkel, Zach, and Ermac. We've already seen multiple good moments galing dito sa SBK. And they just cannot close out a series win so far dito sa buong group stage natin. So, it's been a rough time para sa kanila. In all honesty, the map score is not looking good, but I still believe in this team. Great improvements dito sa week number 2 galing kay Zach at kay Linkel. Or rather, yeah, kay Linkel and kay Ishida as well. They actually played really well dun sa mga games kahapon. It's just that, you know, it's hard to close out games dito sa Impact, pare. Ang daming random factors na kailangan mong isipin.
Not like sa mga iba pa nating mga teams na nakikita. And knowing these two teams, kailangan rin talaga nilang isipin on how will they adjust dun sa mga mistakes na pwede nilang magagawa in terms of the round win ng kabilang team. But again, gusto ko rin makita at mapag-usapan natin maya-maya once na makita yung maps and picks kung ano nga ba yung kanilang ipapakita sa atin.
Yeah, lots of expectations siguro from yung map picks possibly. We might see SBK pull out yung port once again. They were so close in closing out port dun sa first game nila dito sa ating CFS PH Impact. But didn't do too well against yung Vanguard, unfortunately. Pero it is Vanguard, pare, you know, Follex and the boys. Alam mo naman yung kababalaghan na ginagawa nila sa mga mapa natin. And the close one was actually Ankara para dito sa SBK. So there's a lot of options para sa kanila dito sa first game. REA7 leaning a lot more pagdating dito sa ating they also is a really good port team. 10-4 against Amelion. Amelion was a team who showed really good promise pagdating dito sa port, but then they couldn't finish it out against REA7. They could also go sub-base. Parang those 4 maps, papakikutan lang yata ng dalawang teams natin.
For sure, yan yung mga ating makikita. But for now, let's take a look the map dito kung ano nga ba talaga yung tunay nilang paglalaruan at pipiliin ng mga maps at this point. SBK banning out the Eagle Eye 2.0. You have R7 banning out the Ankara. Port and sub-base para sa ating map 1 and map 2. At ang ating decider is Compound.
Okay, so SBK gonna start GR dito sa port and REA7 on sub-base. They're gonna start sa Global Risk. So decider is gonna be Global Risk on REA7. Interesting how this is gonna start actually dito sa port. REA7 has a really good blacklist side pagdating sa mapa na to, and SBK kind of heavily reliant dito kay Zach na i-defend yung kanilang top A, one of the more important spots dito sa mapa natin. And yeah, I mean, it's been the combination dito ng aggression ni Linkel at ni Ishida pagdating dito sa B-side, really giving the last team na nakalaban nila dito a hard time. But we're talking about REA7 here, pare. They have some really good offenses dito sa side nila.
Yeah, definitely maganda yung kanilang na-establish in terms of the blacklist side. But again, na-point out mo nga, SBK Esports, they need to have a good defense in terms of the offense na kayang i-offer ng REA7 in this map number 1. But again, once na makuha nga ng REA7 itong map 1 na ito or yung first half, they need to bounce back on the side of SBK kasi syempre ayaw rin naman nila magpatalo or ayaw nila magbigay ng basta-basta onto the map number 1 because of the momentum base rin going into the sub-base map.
Yep, for sure. Momentum is very important though. Pagdating sa mapa, kagaya nga ng sub-base, and if meron kang onting momentum galing dito sa BL side, you start scoring some rounds, then yun nga, you can enter yung GR side with all the momentum, entirely new mindset, and an easier side to play with, no? So, yun nga, there's a lot on the line pagdating dito sa mga first halves ng mga team natin, especially para dito sa side ng SBK. If they start really good dito sa mapa natin ng port, then definitely they can get to yung certain score like 9 or 8, but yung tunay na tanong talaga para dito sa SBK is, can they really close it out, pare?
Ayun yung biggest question, definitely, na kailangan rin talaga nilang alamin. And definitely sa mga supporters natin dyan, in terms of the live stream, syempre, show your support rin for the series number 1. We have REA7 and SBK ESPORTS, and don't forget na rin to share the live stream and to support CFS PH Impact. At ngayon, hinihintay na lang rin natin pumasok sa mismong laban in port for the map number 1. So,
group stage natin. But we are gonna go into the map number 1 dito ng first best of 3 of the day ng Impact. It's gonna be REA7 dito sa ating BL side, SBK dito sa GR. And the double sniper setup, we have seen it yesterday. It was very effective at first, pero SBK, can they take advantage ng ganitong setup na gumana kahapon against REA7?
for sure, makikita natin yan. But as of now, wala pang masyadong action for the side of both teams. More on, adjustment lang kung saan makakuha sila ng information. But for now, 1 minute and 45 seconds, and all of the 3 members right now ng REA7 ay nag-group up papunta dito sa may B site. At mukhang delikado rin naman dahil dalawa lang ang natitira sa kanila dun sa may B site.
Yep, AK though on B side. That I don't agree with, pare. Pero si Brian, nakuha na nga si RSEC dito, and that's already a huge pick-off para sa side ng SBK. That is one of the snipers, or one of the sniper threats that you can take out. RSEC was also really good dun sa games ng REA7 yesterday, so if they can kind of ice him dito sa game natin, that could be huge. Pero Linkel nagagaling dito sa ilalim ng B, does get the sniper shot kay Charles. Silent getting 2, and hindi natin papag-usapan yung R7 without si Silent. And Silent, the exact same form from yesterday, pare. He can do the one-man carry job, but the rest of his team is stepping up as well. And bomba nakababa na. Z Brian nasa RS. Doesn't have much of a choice.
Wow, ibang klase yung pag-offense, and definitely na-point out mo nga yung playstyle on the side of Silent, knowing na napakaganda talaga ng impact niya on the side of REA7. And as of now, SBK Esports, ang kailangan lang rin talaga nilang alamin is to shut down the presence of Silent. Once na ma-shut down, andun yung advantage ngayon nila to bounce back at mas mapaganda yung depensa dito sa ating round.
So, this is what I was talking about earlier, no, Aaron, yung top A defense ni Zach. Obviously, Zach the most consistent player dito ng SBK. So, if makauna dito yung RE7 sa LA with like a random LA peak and somehow get a headshot dito kay Zach, that can kind of frustrate him early. And if you can frustrate itong si Zach na maaga pa lang, him being one of the more key players ng SBK, being offline, that could be one of the biggest mistakes that SBK has to contain dito, pare. Pero R7 already getting CA control. That means LA is gonna get a lot easier to take na meron ng nakalapit dito, and the flashes are gonna come.
Napaganda tong plano with a good lineup para sa kanila. Nandun yung first shot on the side of Zach. Hindi magkoconnect at mukhang mapapaganda pa rin on the side of Charles and the rest of the squad ng R7. Dahil dalawa ngayon na mapapatumba. Make it 3, sabi nga nila. Charles lang yung magiging trade. But still, SBK wala pa rin nagiging sagot. Pero nandun pa rin yung pagkuha on the side of with that AWM. But again, napakalinis ng execution ng R7 dun.
Yep, Va picking up the sniper from the dead body dito ni Zach. And lest we not forget, si Va pumupulot rin ng sniper rifle from time to time sa mga ibang mapa natin. So he is gonna hit those shots every single time. And so far, yung meron lang kill galing sa side ng SBK is si Linkel, Ermac, and si Z Brian. Zach and si Ishida not on the board just yet. Did he change name? Imnida? Come on, man.
Imnida.
Come on, Sio.
Ayan, tahimik lang. Wala pang masyadong action. There's gonna be a good para sa side ng SBK para makapag-adjust muna or makakuha ng magandang pick-off. Pero hindi pa rin naman gaano nag-overcommit ang mga players ng R7. Ng SBK, kailangan nila mag-hold ng angle. Yes, andun si Linkel sa may B site and A site still an option para sa side ng R7. Pero ngayon, mukhang si Silent kumikilos na ngayon na dahan-dahan kukunin yung papuntang B site. So, eto na kaya ang pag-punish ng R7.
Yep. And this is what I was talking about, pare. Yung the AK-47 choice dito sa B site. That means you won't have the same damage sa mga wall bangs dito sa mga wooden parts ng house. And Silent making Ishida pay early. And tingnan mo naman si Silent. He is just flying on in sa baba ng B site. And Zeke nakakuha ng dalawa sa mid. Ermac in the middle of nowhere. Nakakuha pa nga siya ng dalawa. Pero 1 HP and a dream. And the dream dies quickly para dito sa SBK for a retake. And 3-0 para sa REA7 so far. And this is what I was talking about, Aaron. The BL side ng R7 dito sa port can really catch you by surprise.
Okay, nakikita ko na at napapansin ko na rin yung pattern on the side of R7 and now Zach yung kanilang tina-target. Alternate push lang A, B yung ginagawa nila all throughout this round at ngayon nakikita naman natin Va getting that wonderful pick-off na naman to close out this A site. Ngayon, tatlo o isa na lang ang matitira. Z Brian, ano ang gagawin mo? Napakabilis na round yon for the side of R7.
And alam nila na medyo malamig pa dito si Zach, man. So, why not? Let's attack LA every single time. If nagbi-miss yung sniper ng SBK, that's basically a free site na pwede mong takbuhan dito. And they are gonna go for another daring LA push. But, more of like magbabantay lang sila if ever may mag-overextend galing sa side ng SBK because it's getting a bit desperate for the side of SBK para kumuha ng points dito.
Sa totoo lang, and knowing SBK Esports, kailangan rin talaga nilang alamin yung weakness point or yung pinaka magiging plano on the side of R7 in terms of the execution ng bawat round. Kasi napapansin natin, alternate lang yung kanilang pagpasok dun sa mga site. Once they have the advantage, mas kukunin at clear out na lang nila yung mga angles. Pero SBK, in terms of retake, medyo mababa pa yung percentage nila.
Yep, but it's still a chill round. Kaantay pa rin ng outliers dito, yung R7 so far. And SBK not going too far forward. Learning yata galing sa mga prior rounds natin. Z Brian going a bit forward. Linkel, always a classic Z position. Pero Z Brian, unang mahuhulog dito sa B-site. Linkel nahulog na rin as well. So that's one less sniper para sa side ng SBK. At Silent na naman, another double kill sa B-site. This man is unstoppable so far dito sa server natin, pare.
Napakahirap to. Si Zach hindi nag-connect agad yung first hit niya doon sa AWM. But unfortunately, again, on the side of SBK, parang kahit pa paano nandun na yung pattern na may advantage na sila to know where the side of R7, kung saan sila magko-commit. Pero ngayon kasi, nakikita naman natin, mag-AA naman ngayon sila after the B site dun sa round na yon. Round number 6, mukhang similar playstyle. Pero kailangan pa rin talagang gumawa ng aksyon kung ikaw ang side ng SBK Esports kasi medyo nagiging alanganin na yun as of now dahil wala pa silang naisisecure na round at this point.
And it's the struggle, man, para sa side ng SBK. It's the exact same positions na nilalaro nila from last game pero gumagana naman yun on any other team. R7 though, apparently hindi gumagana sa kanila. It's been working for them so far. Arsec with 0 kills, pero does it really matter? Silent has 11 pa.
Ibang klase rin talaga itong si Silent. Going for the initiate gunfights na nakukuha niya lagi. And on point lagi yung mga players ngayon ng R7 in terms of the kills na nakocommit nila yung mga plays na gusto nilang gawin. And now, mukhang iba na naman yung magiging plano nila. Minicro nga nila yung mga players ng SBK. Pero dalawa yung dedepensa na wala agad. Ito si Zak and etong si Ermac. And now, SBK Esports, tatlong membro nila nandun sa may gitna at papunta. Pero good popcorn kill on the side of Ba. Pero Zik with a 2K, Imnita with a kill. Maganda pa rin naman yung naging sagot doon ng SBK. But unfortunately, mas importante talaga yung pag-secure ng round.
Grabe, I mean, it's just a rotation para sa side ng R7. Kung hindi si Silent, it's Va getting the kill. Kung hindi si Va, it's gonna be Zeke getting the entries. And everything is working para sa side ng R7 so far. And they're just gonna send it dito sa B-side. Si Brian, caught by surprise. Dito si Ishida sa gilid ng Godbox. Pareho na sila nasa baba ng B-side. Pero Imnida, siya yung unang mag-pick galing sa backside. Not even a flash at all. Galing sa SBK, that was just a raw peek from Ishida. And hindi na nila tinignan yung backside. A bit reckless from the side of R7. Maybe some overconfidence. Pero SBK finally with a round on the board thanks to the 4K dito ni Ishida.
Ibang klase yung ginawa on the side of Z Brian. Nandun yung first contact para sa kanya pero hindi nila napansin. Nandun sa may left corner itong si Imnida with a good space created for their team to have this round 1 win para sa kanila. Pero syempre, R7 mukhang re-strategize ngayon sila ng kanilang pwedeng gawing play. But again, Zach, nagpapakitang gilas na mga players ng SBK. Because of that one round win na nakuha nila.
Yep, lot more confident sa kanilang kalawan, actually hitting shots this time. Arsec already down. Hasn't had a frag so far dito sa 7 rounds natin. And I think it's a fine casualty, honestly, para sa side ng R7. There's still 4 people left alive, knowing how capable itong si Va and si Zeke is despite yung less than stellar numbers dito ng R7. Pero they still have to open up yung mapa natin. And SBK fully knowing na meron na sa kanila yung numbers advantage dito. They're not really going for the push with the exception of one, si Zach. Getting a bit frisky dito sa LA side natin. Only getting some damage kay Va pero nothing too aggressive para sa kanya dito.
Kailangan lang hindi nila dapat kailangan mag-overextend into this point kasi nakikita mo naman si Linkel. Hindi tatama yung first shot niya but unfortunately may lumilikod agad sa kanya. Pero Va with a good space na sana makukuha niya. But Zach and Ermac with a huge kill na napaka-on point at kailangan na yun
Silent
para sa kanilang team. Katulad yan, Silent creating again a huge gap between the side of SBK. Pero si Charles na lang yung natitira up against the 2 members. But unfortunately, SBK napupunta na ngayon sa kanilang momentum.
Yeah, really good adjustment, honestly. Galing sa side ng SBK, putting Linkel dito sa top A instead. And medyo naubos yata yung R7 bago sila makapasok ng A-site thanks to the rotation dito ng SBK via the bridge and yung exit side. And I think we're gonna see this a lot more. Si Zach, mag-rifle muna yata siya. Linkel gonna be the main sniper for now. Pero kahit si Linkel, hindi niya mapigilan yung push ng R7 dito sa LA. But it's not even a push, it's just a check.
Check na check. Nakikita nga natin yung kailangan na gawin on the side of SBK. Pero nandun yung penetration on the side of Zik. Pero hindi niya makukuha yung kill. But Imnida with a good exchange dun sa naging objective ng R7 and SBK. Eto na kaya ulit yung chance nila na makuha yung round na ito. And trying to close this gap para sa kanilang team. But unfortunately, natuto na rin yung mga players ng R7. Chinek na nila lahat ng angles. Pero Ermac with the 2K, maganda pa rin to equalize the gap between these 2 players na natitira para sa side ng SBK.
Separated yung players dito ng SBK. And since R7 is playing both baba dito sa B-side, Va is also on low HP. He needs to go for the skill kay Zach before na makapasok siya. 15 seconds na lang natitira though. And Arsec still killless dito sa ating 9-round first half. And makaka-defuse dito yung SBK despite being separated. Really good first pick-off. Galing dito kay Zach being very patient sa curve. And R7, it's a good half para sa kanila, honestly. 6 rounds dito sa BL side. SBK could not hold on to the more advantageous side ng port. And now SBK, kailangan nila ipanalo yung game from the harder side ng mapa.
Ito na yung thrill. Ito na yung pinaka-hinihintay nila. Paano nga ba makakuha ng magandang comeback with the score na meron ang side ng R7, SBK Esports? Paano nga ba nila atakihin to? Kasi napakadaming strategy na rin ang in-implement on the side of REA7 nung first half na itong laban. But right now, SBK Esports parang medyo slow push in terms of the positioning and hindi pa ata nila alam kung saan talaga pwede mag-commit as of now.
Arsec trying to get the kill on the board. Naka-sniper na siya dito on the top A side. Pero napakaganda ng position dito ng R7 so far. May nakabantay dito si CA, Va, in the corner, making sure na hindi siya kita galing dito sa ladder angle. And Zach, is he gonna check it? And he checks a bit too wrong. Va, gonna take the kill kay Zach. So wala pang control dito sa CA ang SBK. Pero pipilitin nila yung LA anyway. Z Brian already climbing up. Pero at least napantayan na dito ng RE7 in terms of yung numbers. Yung mapa natin, Flash could come in from the LA side and the Flash does come through. Top A, meron dalawang players. Silent manggagaling dito sa BR side. Onting damage lang ang makukuha niya. Z Brian with a good entry kay Va. Silent getting si Ermac, pero Z Brian so good so far, pero hindi nakakasabay ang kanyang teammates. Slowly dying in the background. Zeke with 2 good kills. Pero low na dito si Silent, low na dito si Zeke. 10 kills and 13 though. Pareho sila naka-AK dito. So a one tap is very possible. A one tap is very doable. Zeke finally pushing top A. Aim nila, not covered in time dito ni Z Brian. Pero Z Brian just using his teammate as bait the entire time to get the favorable situation, pare. And SBK, that's a good round. That's a BL round on the board para sa kanila dito.
Napakaganda nung trade-off nila and especially the side of Z Brian. Nag-pay attention lang rin siya kung nasan yung isang member on the side of REA7 dun sa last option na yon. But unfortunately, ang ganda ng pag-A-long push on the side of R7. Isa lang yung matitrade off Zeke and Ermac with that 1-for-1 trade. Pero mas nagiging pulado rin yung mga buhay on the side of SBK.
Yeah, very aggressive LA take ang nagawa dito ng R7. Iniwan nila dito si Charles sa may metal box ng LA. And this is a good position to get some information on. Rinig na rinig yung mga tumatapak dito sa SD. PR is also occupied, so it's a fine crossfire dito sa A site. Pero, feeling ko SBK, you need to go somewhere else. LA is no entry.
Pero still, SBK, they have the momentum. Pwede pa rin naman nila mabaliktad to kahit low HP na itong si Zach and Linkel. Pero Arsec still, wala pa rin siya nakukuhang kill or engagement. As of now, 0 kills para sa kanya. Pero yung kanyang mga teammates, napakaganda rin talaga nung kanilang ibinibigay na suporta. Kahit dun sa pick-off, knowing na si Charles ngayon ang makakuha ng advantage with a good defense up against the side of Linkel and SBK ngayon. Mukhang may pinaplano silang pagpasok dun sa may B, pero andun si Va with a good pick-off now. Number advantage on the side of R7. Pero dun sa may likod, parang may nagbabantay agad for their flank.
Im nila can still serve as the entry. Arsec, low HP, pero naka-sniper siya dito, so he still has the advantage pag meron nag-peek ng corner. And this is a really good cover galing kay Arsec. Even gets si Z Brian. And it's a favorable situation para sa side ng R7. Silent having the higher HP, pero half HP na siya dito. Nade can make the difference, pero Silent, sinalon niya lang ang HE doon instead, just fully peeking with the Colt. R7 up to 7. Dito naman sa Portman, and SBK, hindi pwede yung back and forth dito sa second half, pare.
Klase yun, 50-50 play on the side of R7 and knowing na muntikan pa nga makuha yung magandang pick-off na yon on the side of SBK, pero nandun pa rin talaga yung chance at yung pag-asa on the side of SBK kung paano nila makakuha ng isang magandang panalo sa bawat round na lumilipas sa kanila. Pero R7, 3 round na lang kailangan nila i-secure to get this map. Pero gumagawa na naman ng sarili niyang play. Ito yung pinakamagandang gagawin niya ata. Pero unfortunately, Z Brian, nabasa agad yung galaw niya. So good information was given on the side of SBK. Mas maganda ngayon na pwede nila ma-execute yung A.
Fa being down, big pickoff. Para sa side ng SBK, him having 12 frags this early is not a good sign para sa SBK for sure. Pero tamang testing lang ng mga sites natin so far. Meron na silang CA control, so lilipat na yung SBK dito sa A site. Arsec, so far only 1 kill. Pero naka-sniper siya dito. He has to be the main defense dito sa top A, and he has to hit these shots. Flash is gonna be incoming galing sa CA side. And I think barely nabulag dito si Arsec actually, but they're gonna throw more flashes sa loob at sa labas ng top A. Arsec nasa baba pero he gets picked off instantly. Linkel now naka M4 this time, not on the sniper. Nade's gonna fly dito sa top A. Napakadaming low players for the side of SBK, pero wala pa rin nakaka-finish ng kahit ni isa dito. Charles with the push, Z Brian with the swing. Headshot agad dito kay Charles. Zeke at Silent na lang natitira, and Silent, even he gets neutralized immediately. And Z Brian, you know, the only deaths around natin.
Oh, yun lang.
Yun na nga.
Hindi.
Tinapos na.
Hindi pa agad naging ready. And again, R7, hindi rin natin to inaasahan on the side of SBK Esports. Knowing na, yes, nagkaroon nga sila ng struggle dun sa first half. Pero ngayon na nag-switch yung side, mas nakakuha ngayon sila ng upper hand in terms of the gunfight or in. Parang REA7. Parang dun pa lang sa nakakuha ng round ang side ng SBK. Parang nag-shift talaga yung gunfight or yung kani-kanila ang mga win condition is on now para sa side ng SBK Esports now. R7, ano pa kaya yung kailangan nilang gawin? Or kailangan pa rin ba kaya nilang mag-overcommit or overextend dun sa mapa? Kasi etong si Va, kahit nakakuha siya ng mga gandang damage, kung siya pa rin ang natutuluyan, medyo nagiging disadvantage yun sa nagiging depensa ng R7.
Oh, entry coming in, Silent. Nakakuha lang ng damage dito kay Brian, pero hindi niya makuha yung finish galing dito sa Z. Magre-repeat yata si Silent dito, but now SBK fully aware na pwedeng lumabas sa Z dito si Silent at any time, at any single play. Silent nakuha pa rin si Z Brian dito, finally finishing off the low player. Charles nakuha si Ermac, and the exchanges are happening. And SBK mukhang sila pa nga yata yung masasaktan dito. Linkel half HP. Charles trying to get the kill sa baba ng CA. And nandito na kay LA push. Only a leg though para kay Arsec. So 3 or rather 2 low HP players, or 2 half HP players rather. And si Zach who is on 1 at the moment. R7 has the health advantage pare, pero 1 HP na rin dito si Va. But Zeke, AK makes all the difference pare. As long as you get that 1 tap, it's fine. And this could be the beginning of the end, yung round dito ng SBK pare.
1-1, 1 position for the side of REA7. Kailangan talaga nila mag-split at bantayan yung mga entry points na pwedeng gawin on the side of SBK. Ang SBK, yes, low on HP yung players. Zach and the side of Imnida. Mukhang i-commit nga nila yung B, pero nandun si Zeke to ready to kill. And getting the 2K, napaka-interesting talaga na REA7 with this good momentum na napakita nila ng first half. Nababawi ngayon nila dun sa round win na yun.
Yeah, I mean, starting so well dito sa BL side ng Port, and now all you have to do is to play the more favorable side. Arsec, what happened to Arsec? Nahulog yata siya somewhere or namultuhan. Pero Zeke going for the frag, double kill para kay Zeke already as they enter itong HB. Silent getting 1 in return, pero Linkel can turn the tides dito sa site. But just like that, in a span of 25 seconds pa rin, naubos na agad yung SBK. That is R7 on map point.
Napakadelikado to on the side of SBK. Ibang klase rin yung naging advantage sana nila in terms of the number na wala si Arsec nung first minute or first 10 seconds ng ating laban. Pero nandun pa rin talaga SBK. Ano nga ba ang gagawin nila? Dahil medyo naging alanganin at nagiging 50-50 yung kanilang pag-commit sa mga sites, kasi medyo nagugulat din talaga sila sa mga positioning or yung mga angles na binabantayan ng mga players ng R7.
Slow but steady para sa SBK. Di mo na nagmamadali. Zach getting tagged, pero Arsec will fall first para sa R7. 4 versus 5, pero tignan mo naman yung HP ng dalawang players ng SBK dito. Very easily finishable ng mga M4s and ng mga AKs. Still solid pa rin yung defense dito ng R7. They're covering every single spot that they have to cover. And yun nga, I mean, RSEC is gone pero okay pa naman to for the side of RE7 but not at the moment. Charles mahuhulog dahil dito sa M4. And a 3v5 sa start ng round para dito sa R7. Oh, pati si Silent nadamay na rin.
Napakaganda yun on the side of Z Brian, pero si Va dun sa may taas. 2F ngayon ang kailangan nilang protektahan at tignan. Pero unfortunately on the side of Zik, napakalayo niya pa to take charge dun sa mga players. Katulad ni Imnidan na makukuha niya nga si Va. Pero once again, the side of SBK patunay na lumalaban pa rin for this map number 1. 9-6 score, 3 rounds para mapaabot nila into overtime.
Yep, this is not the same SBK na nakita natin noong isang araw. Linkel, not showing up as is yung mga other days natin. R7 though, round after round, SBK nakakuha sila ng mga chances. RSEC, so far, only 1 frag. His team doing a lot of the heavy lifting dito. Va on 12, Zeke on 18, Silent on 16. And ayun nga, isang magandang basa lang galing sa R7. This map could be over. And we are already seeing just a very passive defense lang from the side of R7. Naghahanap yata sila ng turn around. No one's moving.
For me, parang ang mas magandang option dito ngayon ng SBK is to push mid. Try to have a space na ma-pick off agad itong si Charles. Then, pwede nilang likuran itong B-side. Pero for now kasi, wala yung isang player on the side of R7.
Si Zeke pala wala.
Yes, si Zeke, wherein napakalaki talaga ng impact niya on the defense. Pero ngayon kasi may pinaplano ngayon ng SBK to push around niya dun sa may gitna. Pero pwede kaya nilang makita agad itong si Charles nagbabantay sa kanila. But Linkel, 1/4 ngayon ang mababawa sa kanyang HP. Pero wala pa rin nagiging action and as of now, 55 seconds pa ang natitira sa ating oras. Pero tama nga ba ang magiging desisyon ngayon ng SBK sa pag-push ngayon ng B-side?
5v4. Still, very winnable para sa SBK easily. Itong game natin para R7 says play on despite losing itong si Zeke. Pero okay na nga. B-side, R7. RSEC actually spotted sa backside and Charles nag-back off na lang dito sa baba. Ermac getting the kill kay Va. Immediately Z Brian taking over dito sa may midside. Charles and RSEC dito naman sa baba. Pero may kita ba nila si RSEC dito? Yes, they do. And SBK 7-9, 2 points na lang. Pwede na nila i-tie up yung game natin and possibly go into another OT support.
Napakaganda to on the side of SBK, but unfortunately, 3 lang yung mga magiging members on the side of R7. Ano kaya yung magiging plano kaya nila at this point?
Yeah, it's a dead round.
Kailangan mag-reset
SBK though, they have a shot. They have a chance dito sa game natin. They just need 2 good reads and they are back in the running dito sa overtime ng Port. Yung problema nga lang dito, if they run into the wrong stack, either dito sa A or sa B, and hindi nila nakuha si RSEC sa start ng round, then that could spell trouble para sa kanila dito.
And knowing yung A side, parang ayun yung nakikita ko as of now na weakness point on the side of R7. Knowing na napakaganda rin talaga nung pag-hold ng mga players on the side of SBK Esports. Knowing na etong si Va, napipick off agad nila, and RSEC hindi pa rin nakakuha ng enough space to eliminate the numbers na natitira on the side of SBK. At yung nagiging rotation ng SBK is napakatagal din to have the 3-take or makuha ng iba nilang mga members. So, I think that's a good factor on the side of SBK na kaya nilang makuha yung A side. Pero pag pumunta dun sila sa may B side, medyo 50-50 situation kasi napakaganda rin talaga ng pag-hold ng R7 sa B side.
R7 though, man. Ayun nga, they mess up twice here, and they mess up yung kanilang lead na nakuha nila ng first half. But I would expect, since 2 points pa naman yung lead dito ng R7, actually, they might go aggressive sa isang round. And LA is looking prime and ready for a push dito kasi hindi nila pinupush for the past few times. They only do it really late dito sa round natin. Pero most teams do not expect, especially sa mga tournaments natin, to have that aggressive play. I think nakita rin na lang natin yun from some of the other aggressive teams dito sa group stage natin. Kagaya ng X-Solo Q, kagaya nga ng UM2 as well, doing the exact same. So, maybe yun nga, no? Maybe an aggressive play, just throw something at itong SBK. You still have 1 round of leeway pa naman.
Tama ka dyan. And knowing, ayun yung mga isa sa mga factor na pwede nating makita. Pero syempre, if you are the side of R7, mas gugustuhin mo i-close out na agad rather dun sa paghahabulin mo pa yung kabilang team. Kasi medyo nagiging 50-50 yung situation once na pumasok tayo dun sa overtime or dun sa ating magiging extension ng mga rounds na mapapakita dun sa ating map number 1. Knowing this is gonna be the map 1, parang dun pa lang nakikita na natin na medyo nagiging close kahit pa paano na pwede ring ibigay ito dun sa second map natin, which is Subbase.
For sure. And Subbase is gonna be a bit of a spicy game, no? Fully knowing yung nangyayari sa Subbase so far dito sa tournament natin. We haven't seen too much good GR sides. Surprisingly, kahit GR-sided yung mapa natin. But yung mga BL sides na nakikita natin from the team so far sa Impactor, they have their priorities right. Maganda yung pag-take nila ng MR, LR. Maganda yung pag-take nila ng Shotter as well to cancel out yung rotation between yung dalawang teams. So, yeah, honestly, very well played BLs lang from any other team. But if a team can successfully pull off yung isang magandang GR side dito sa Subbase, man, that map could be yours for the entire tournament, pare.
And again, napakaganda nga na point out mo yun. So, ayun yung mga pwede nating i-look forward on the map number 2. Pero again, sa mga supporters dyan ng dalawang teams, this is again the map number 1. Nagkaroon lang ng relabi on to this point. Pero yung score natin is same pa rin. 7-9 leading ang side ng R7 and SBK Esports. Dalawang round pa ang kailangan nilang i-secure to force this out into an overtime. So,
breaking news, breaking information, dinihan pala ako ni Ishida. Sinabi niya, he couldn't make it today. So, Imnida is a different person. Okay. Thank you, Sio. Thank you for the info, man. Thank you for the info, man.
So, iba rin talaga yung factor na ayun yung naglalaro for their team. So, interesting din na makita itong same nida on their roster for today.
Oh, yeah. For sure. I mean, Ishida is a very key player, no, para sa kanyang team, provides leadership para dito sa SBK. Played really well dun sa last series despite, losing 0-2, especially dun sa Port map. Ito nga, no, the prime example, I think SBK could have closed out itong Port game if they had Ishida dito. But at the same time, Imnida is not playing too bad para dito sa side ng SBK. So, ayun nga, it still would be a better team if nandito nga si Ishida, but Imnida, he's not doing too bad in all honesty. I'm actually looking at kay Linkel dito sa Port game natin. She was really good dun sa mga ibang Port maps na nakita natin for the past few times para dito sa SBK, but it's not the same firepower na nakikita natin from the past few times.
Kumbaga may factor din talaga at this point yung kanilang mga ginawa kanina. Pero for now, let's see. Magiging maganda nga ba to on the side of SBK side to secure this last 2 rounds para ma-force out into an overtime or R7? Tatapusin na kaya nila to get this map number 1?
Mm-hmm. And everything is reset. 7-9 SBK. 1 point para sa R7 to win this one out. SBK, 2 points to get that OT. Pero it's the same mode para sa R7. They're just playing really passively.
And knowing the side of SBK, parang mas gugustuhin na lang mag-overextend yung R7 or magkaroon ng pagkakamali in terms of their position at mas makakuha ng enough damage on the side of the defending team, which is R7. Pero SBK kasi medyo nagiging play safe sila kahit paano at kailangan rin talaga nilang i-utilize yung mga flashes and yung mga grenades nila na pwedeng makuha nila in terms of the damage na matatanggap rin. And now, 3-2 setup para sa side ng R7. Maganda ata na-establish agad nila yung early defense dun sa may B side kasi posibleng ulitin nga yun on the side of SBK pero R7, sapat nga ba yung gantong adjustment na ginawa ngayon nila?
Mm-hmm. And let us see. Same mode. 50 seconds na lang natitira. And not much time para sa SBK para makapasok dito sa B, in all honesty. So, we're gonna have to wait and see what the offense is gonna look like. So, straight up barilan yung mangyayari dito sa B site. And it has to be SBK hitting the shots. R7 in better angles. Pero dahil nga 5-man rush dito, or rather 4-man rush dito sa site, may isang lalabas ng mid. This has to be the shots hit from both sides. And ayun na nga, Zeke, nakakuha na ng first frag ba with the 2. Kaya ba nila kumuha ng 3? No, it's a 3v3. So far, dito sa retake natin. Pero maganda naman yung posisyon ng R7. Pero Ermac taking over early dito sa baba. Nade is gonna get Ermac. Finally, Zach with the 1-for-1. Imnida na lang natitira. The 6th man, can he do it para sa SBK? And it seems like it's not gonna happen, pare.
Ayun lang, sayang yun on the side of SBK. Maganda na sana yung execution nila knowing map number 1 highlights and overall kung paano nga ba nakakuha ng magandang panalo ang side ng R7.
Yeah, I think yung kind of 60 or 70% of the reason why nanalo sila dito sa game natin is that good first half na nakita natin from the side of R7. They were just dominating fully. And SBK, I wouldn't say wala silang chance dito sa second half. They had a bit of a comeback going dito sa kanilang BL side, but then yun nga, you have players like itong si Zeke, you have players like itong si Va, you have players like itong si Silent on the other side playing really, really well. And the fact na itong si Arsec, no, I don't want to flame Arsec too much. No. He had 3 frags the entire map, pero nabuhat siya ng buong team niya in this one. Just goes to show how good yung mga players are dito sa side ng R7 is.
And again, SBK, napakaganda pa rin talaga ng presensya dito ni Imnida. Yes, nandun talaga yung magandang gawin nila yung main 5. But unfortunately, Imnida, napapantayin pa rin naman kahit pa paano. And again, on to the side of R7, sa ating napag-usapan niya, napakaganda nga rin talaga nung naging resulta nila. At ngayon, titignan natin ang ating set summary for this map number 1. So, titignan natin kung sino nga ba talaga yung pwede nating i-point out on the side of R7.
So si Zeke. Zeke is most likely getting yung MVP dito. What's important para dito sa MVP, at least on our stream, is yung kills per round. 1.12 kills per round, so he kills one dude every round and tags someone for 20 HP. And nakikita naman natin multiple times in multiple rounds para kay Zeke. He gets so many double kill entries for the side of R7. And pagdating dun sa kanilang GR side, he was just as deadly. So him having this much impact dito sa laruan natin is really what set the tides para sa side ng R7. And we do have the set MVP, and you already know who it is. Of course, it's your boy Zeke. And headshots per kill not too high, pero he was hitting his shots anyways, pare.
Napakagandang presensya nagnawa ni Zeke on the first half and the second half ng ating map number 1. And overall, malalaman natin if makakuha nga ba ulit siya na magandang start dun sa ating sub-base map, or the rest of the players ng SBK, baka sila ngayon yung magiging bida. At the side of R7, yung kailangan nilang maging adjustment here is wag silang masyadong maging overconfident, kasi ayun yung magiging factor na pwedeng sumira sa kanilang naging chemistry or yung kanilang naging resulta dun sa map number 1. So for me, dun sa sub-base, kailangan lang nilang wag mag-overextend or wag masyadong maraming error to be consistent na rin sa mga wins.
Yeah, I mean, for sure, sub-base is the map na if you are the most consistent, then it's gonna be a tough time for any side para kunin yung advantage dito sa mapa natin. It is all about that first half, no? Yung defense nga talaga ng R7, can they hold on against itong SBK? SBK has shown some stuff dito sa kanilang BL on port, which easily translates dito rin sa map ng sub-base, as it kind of plays the exact, hindi naman exact same, but it plays the same vibe dito sa second map natin, being GR-sided. But let us see what is gonna be the priority dito ng SBK for round number 1. Mukhang MR ang gusto nilang kunin, pero Silent, inunahan na sila dito. Z Brian going down with a passage peek, and Silent, di pa siya umaalis doon. He wants to keep peeking.
Ayun lang, pero Ermac with a good exchange, a 1-for-1 trade. Pero syempre, Z Brian also will fall down. Va creating a space para sa kanila, pero nandun pa rin naman yung trade-off na nakikita natin on the side of SBK. Nakakapagsabayan sila, but the number advantage is still on the side of R7. Nandyan yung pag-push ni Arsec. Ngayon makakuha siya ng kill against the side of Zach. 3v1, anong gagawin dito ni Imnida?
Imnida getting the headshot kay Zeke, so that's a good start. Low pa naman si Arsec dito. Va fully aware kung saan pwede manggaling dito si Imnida, and he just goes for the straight up pre-aim dito sa RS. And R7, first round already napupunta sa kanila dito. And Silence solo peeking itong passage, not expected dito ni Z Brian, and nakapush na dito yung SPK sa MR, and it was just a straight up disaster right after that, pare.
Yeah, for sure, and knowing the side of R7, napakaganda talaga nung first round defense nila. Pero ngayon, SBK, they have the potential na pwede nga ulitin yon on the side of R7. But right now, wala silang gaanong ginagawa, wala rin silang gaano pang nagiging plano sa mapa. So I think this is gonna be a 1-minute push para ulit sa side ng SBK.
Don't take their sweet time. Last round, they tried to aggressively take forklift control. Walang pumasok na MR and they paid dearly for it. Pero tamang slow play lang. They're just feeling out yung mapa natin. Linkel finding herself dito sa may second mid area natin, and it would be a big pick-off kung mawala agad dito si Zeke, as that is shutter control down, rotation cut off between yung dalawang players ng A site. But instead, dahil nga may nakapasok na dito from the vent side, it's gonna be an attempt on the A site instead.
Ako po.
Pwede maging madali to, but they need to find si Va immediately. But Va, fully knowing na it could be a push, going for the full peak, and meron na siyang information dito. R7, they're not gonna rotate just yet, pero tutulong dito yung player sa CR. Bumaba ng sikip bigla. Pero tignan mo naman yung SBK, they're taking their sweet time. But it is gonna be a bait play between Va at Charles dito sa side. Nakarating na dito ng missile. Zach, nakuha na nga si Charles with that first peak. Pero tignan mo naman yung delay ng R7. But can they get the kills in time? Va, good position. Z-Brian going down. CR is gonna be cleared out. Silent na lang natitira. And an 8 take is good news for the side of SBK. Pero Silent getting the kill kay Zach. Insane headshot through the missile, pero dinouble peak na lang siya dito. And SBK finally getting one on the board. Ang ganda ng delay ng R7 doon. It's just that they didn't get the kills.
Unfortunate ngayon para sa kanila. Pero SBK, commendable pa rin naman talaga yung mga gunfights na napanalo nila. But again, nandito sa may MR, napakaaga agad na ginagawa ni Silent yung magandang push up against the 3 members ngayon on the side of SBK. Ermac, once na ma-pull off agad siya dito, disadvantage yun para sa side ng SBK. Katulad niyan, Linkel nakakuha ng magandang pick-off on the side of Zeke. Good advantage on the side of SBK. At mukhang mas lalamang ngayon sila in terms of the rotation na pwede nilang gawin.
4v5 though, Zeke. Gone already dito sa mapa natin. And an immediate push dito sa A side. Zach, nakita na nga si Va. Down to literally 1 HP. Zach, nilabas na yung sniper to confirm that kill. Silent nakuha si Imnida though in the background. Pero wala yung CR control sa kamay ng R7. Pero si Ermac going for the full flank from the LR side. Instead, papasok na lang ng passage para maka-recon kasama yung kanyang mga teammates dito. Pero Silent getting the kill kay Z-Brian, or rather Silent getting killed by Z-Brian. But it's just a classic exchange dito sa A site. Naka-hold na agad yung SBK. And a lead para sa SBK dito sa kanilang BL side. And this has been a trend for the past few times dito sa subbase. Kagaya nga na sinabi ko, a map that is touted as GR-sided, pero yung BL nakakuha ng rounds.
Ang ganda nga nung naging resulta para sa side ng SBK Esports. And knowing the side of R7, unfortunate yan para sa side ni Z-Brian. Uulitin niya sana yung play kanina, pero sabi ng R7, alam na namin yan. And RSEC going in with that initiate kill na nakuha nga nila. And SBK, ang kinagandaan dito, they have the upper hand in terms of the score. But unfortunately, dalawa ngayon yung napatumba with all of the kills na nakuha nga ng R7 ngayon.
Yep, Va, perfect position para magsalo ng mga players dito sa luwag. And pag nauna dito si Zach, it's gonna be bad news. Nasa kanya yung C4, so tamang antay lang muna dito sa woods. Di muna mag-forward ang ating SBK na squad. Losing too early is not good news, especially pagdating ng subbase. Makes it a lot easier for the squad of R7 para i-defend yung mga sites. All they have to do is watch the entrances. Even vent being cleared out.
Opo, yun na. MR to locker. Titignan niya natin. Silent ngayon yung first contact nila. Pero kailangan nilang itignan agad yung positioning dito ni Silent. And dahil dun, with a good pick-up, na pull off agad nila si Zeke and Silent with a good trade. 1-for-1 lang pero number advantage on to the side of R7. Imnida nakakuha nga ng kill up against the side of RSEC. Pero si Silent, dun sa may 2F, nakakuha ng mas magandang pick-off to have this wonderful 3K sa kanyang pangalan.
Yep. And once you are down in numbers, subbase becomes very punishing yung mapa na to. Especially, kahit 4v5 pa lang actually, you really have to cover a lot of ground super fast as a team. And kung di nyo magawa yun, that's already bad news for you. Pero Silent, solo defender dito sa B-side, SBK wanting to go fast into LR. Pero nauuna na dito yung R7. Sila na mismo yung nag-push kay Ermac. And who is this? It's D. Brian with an XM1104 shotgun. One tap dito kay Arsec. Pero meron pa rin mga players dito sa B-side. Z. Brian may hirapan sa kanyang long-range fights. And ayan na nga yung sinasabi ko. Zeke, nakuha na yung shotgun. Pero A-site ba ang landas dito ng SBK? Zach having to get this first kill kay Va. Guest information na naandito na si Zach. Sa luwag, quick scope, Va goes down, pistol not gonna work against kay Charles and Imnida getting the trade kill. And Imnida low HP na dito, isang granada na lang galing sa CR and he could fall down very easily. Pero ang ganda ng position ni Linkel sa gilid ng CR. Pero Zeke with the pre-fire, nakita niyo natin yung pangalan sa loob ng smoke and Zeke with the double. And R7, 3-2. Nabalik nila agad ni lead dito sa base.
Ibang klase yung naging performance din on the side of R7 with a good initiate fight. Nalaman agad nila lahat ng mga players nila is on point yung naging target. At SBK, medyo nag-follow up sila in terms of the execution. Yes, nakakuha nga sila ng magandang pag-plant dun sa may A site. But unfortunately, dun sa retake talaga ng mga players ng SBK, medyo naging alanganin talaga yung kanilang positioning and a good factor kaya nakuha yon ng R7 for that round number 5. Especially the shotgun nga na naka-point out natin. Z. Brian, 1-for-1 lang pero yun lang yung nagawa niya sa round na yun.
Bit of a slower round naman from SBK. Most aggressive player they have is si Linkel who's pushed up all the way sa entrance ng second mid. But it is a tough one para makapasok dito yung SBK. All sides are covered. And Arsec nasa loob ng vents, ready and waiting for a player to dare a peek. And it's also available just in case na gusto mag-flank dito ni Arsec. Pero Va gets the first kill dito kay Ermac. Z. Brian with one in return. Arsec peeking a bit too zealously dito sa outside. Could have actually waited for an actual push. Galing sa side ng SBK before he went for that play. At naging 4v4 pa nga. Pero tignan natin si Va. Nasa likod na ng MR.
Napakabilis.
Getting the full flank. Pero si Linkel nakuha na rin si Charles. Meron na silang second mid control. But a flank for flank. Incoming Zach. Nakuha na nga si Zeke. Silent getting si Linkel in return. Z. Brian getting si Silent. Pero alam ba nila na naandito si Va sa likod? Meron ba nakatingin Imnida dito sa 3F? Zach getting the first kill. Pero yun lang. Hindi niya pa nakuha yun. And Imnida reacting from the rafters. 3-3 SBK. Back and forth lang tayo dito sa first half ng sub-base.
R7, unfortunate, nakuha nga agad yung mga kills on the side of SBK. Pero ngayon, napakaganda yung pag-push nila dito sa may MR side. And now Imnida trying to defend well dun sa kanilang mga buhay. Pero Z. Brian and Arsec nagkaroon ng magandang sagutan dun sa may gitna. Pero makikita pa rin naman natin, still, 4v4 ang nakikita nating laban. But still, SBK, ibang klase rin talaga yung naging depensa nila dun sa pagandang retake sana up against the side of Va. But right now, 4v3, lamang ngayon ang side ng SBK.
Yeah, slow takes to SBK. Lots of early fights na nangyari dito sa round natin. Silent and Arsec out of the question. Linkel down. Para sa SBK. Low HP na dito si Brian though. So, maybe an odd peek. Yes, it's actually Zach yung nakuha dito ni Va. And that's the sniper ng SBK already out of the question. Pero wala rin yung sniper dito ng R7. So, pantay lang ang footing ng dalawang teams natin at this very moment. Pero Charles getting control sa Woods door. Wow. So, mako-confirm na agad that it is a possible B-push yung mangyayari. Pero, oo nga, B-push. It could be a B-push. It's the right read. Pero tignan mo kung gaano ka-doubtful dito yung SBK sa pagpasok ng B-site, having next to no information kung nasan si Zeke. And Z. Brian manggagaling dito sa mid-side. Tignan mo naman si Charles. That's the C4 down. Ermac up next sa LR. He's gonna get peeked out. Wow! Really great handoff play. Galing sa side ng R7. Dealing with two players sa MR with that flank very smartly. Si Z. Brian na lang natitira on 1 HP.
Wow.
And hindi niya makukuha, man. Well played. That's really good teamwork between yung last two players.
Napakagandang communication yun between the two players nga ng R7. Definitely, Va and the side of Zeke, napakaganda talaga nung ginawa nilang play. And all-out performance nga na pinapakita sa atin ng R7. Back and forth yung mga score, but in terms of the clutch moments, the side of R7, napakataas ang kanilang percentage. Katulad dyan, si Brian, makakuha ng magandang first pick-off up against the side of Charles, pero Silent creating a space para sa kanilang team, pero back and forth lang rin naman, mas nagkakaroon ng magandang advantage ang mga players ng SBK, and there we go, napakabilis na round para sa kanila to take this tie ball game para sa dalawang teams natin. Four to four.
Ayun lang, man. Sayang yun, honestly. R7, nandun na sila pre. Sa site, Mexican standoff, not going in the way dito ng R7, unfortunately. That was, yun nga, this is a straight up gunfight, man. Literal 5v5 on the A site. What else can we say dito? Charles on 1 HP though. Ermac, Linkel on half. Ermac barely breathing at this point, pero passage. Oh, it's finally a B-take. Galing sa SBK, so 4 passage and 1 LR. Someone has to keep the 2F player busy. Habang pumapasok sila sa site, pero Silent makuha na agad si Linkel. But why is... Oh no, SBK is hesitating pare. Inaantay pa nila si Zach. Nalubas dito ng 2F and Zach getting itong si Silent. Finally has an angle sa loob ng DR. But this is still very defendable. Galing sa side ng R7, nahulog si Zach. What is this hesitation? Galing sa SBK, if they went in a lot earlier, caused chaos dito sa site, this would have not happened. Zeke getting 2 players, and it's a 1v2. R7 catching a foiled push dito ng SBK, man. That is... They took a bit too long. Pero may info na dun yung R7. Man, you just have to send it.
Medyo naging alanganin at hindi rin talaga sila 100% sure dun sa ginagawa nilang play. So kailangan rin talaga maging maganda yung factor dito ng dalawang teams na ready to commit, ready to play dun sa magiging plano nila sa kada round. But unfortunately, R7 taking the advantage dun sa round na yon. They have the lead, pero SBK ngayon, sila ang dedepensa. Kakayanin kaya nila yung offense na gagawin. Napakagandang pag-push on the side of Silent. Va and the side of Silent creating a space dun sa tatlong members na makukuha nila up against the side of SBK. Ngayon sa Imnida, low on HP, para pinush out lang talaga nila yung mga players ngayon ng SBK.
Yeah, and grabe man, sinabi na R7 dito, yeah, I'll teach you how to push it on B-side. This is how you do it. And that's how they did it. Yun nga, that's what the B-side take looks like. Pag-apat kayo sa passage and no one hesitates, man. You just get instant side control. Nasa yun na rin yung shotter, pero nakakuha na rin ng isa dito yung SBK. Va with the double kill! Kaya ba tapusin si Imnida dito? Ulo lang ikita dito sa MR. And it seems like no is the answer. Silent looking for the last player sa MR at nahanap to si Imnida. Falling down. What has happened sa round na to? Nagka-exchange lang sa MR. May lumabas ng passage. May lumabas ng outer. And all of a sudden, low HP si Ermac. Zach, full HP pa rin. Naka-sniper siya dito. I would recommend for them to switch guns. Pero si Ermac mahuhulog na agad dito.
Ako po.
And yeah, mati-discover ni Charles na libre yung A-site, man.
Mas maganda yung pag-clear out ngayon ni Charles, knowing na mas matagal yung pag-play with the C4 on the side of Silent. Pero andun yung pagputok ng barel at hindi magkoconnect. Unfortunately, si Zach with a 1v1 situation. At kamuntikan pa dun si Silent na mag-connect yung magandang gun fight up against the side of Zach. But again, R7, sila pa rin talaga yung nagdidikta na itong lead na ito.
7-4, R7. Now showing what they can do dito sa second half. And it's pretty tough para sa SBK so far. Not getting much rounds, not getting much distance dito sa sub-base, but it's understandable kasi hindi naman nila map-pick to.
Isa rin yan sa magiging factor for the side of SBK. Pero kailangan pa rin talaga nilang aralin yung pwedeng gawin ngayon na opensa on the side of R7, knowing na mas maganda nga talaga yung nagiging strategy nila. But unfortunately, Zach creating a space for their team, pero 2-4-2 exchange lang din. Napakabilis na gunfight para sa dalawang team. Linkel with a good exchange. Mapo-fall out na nga agad si Zeke, pero nakakasugot rin dito si Va and Silent. There we go. 3K ngayon yun para din sa mga players or 3K on the side of Silent.
Grabe, Silent loves sub-base and it is evident pare. 15 frags so far. It's him and Va actually leading the charge para dito sa R7. And you know, a better game galing dito kay Arsec man kumpara earlier. He's been getting a frag or two sa mga ibang rounds natin. Gaining space, gaining information para sa kanyang team. Pero Arsec, sa'yo may hawak ng C4 dito ba? Has to go in, but a flash grenade to counter yung player na nasa loob ng 2F. But that's barely any damage. Galing kay Imnid, Linkel getting si Charles. Pero meron pa rin tao dito sa 2F. Finally, a push coming in. Galing kay Silent. Kaya Silent getting 2. Va finding si Zach dito sa mid-wall. Pero Silent getting a 3 and a 4.
Nangyari yun?
Silent by himself. The one-man offense ng R7. Inubos yung mga B players.
SBK, kala ko sila ang makakuha ng magandang depensa knowing na maganda yung position nila. But again, na-outplay lang ni Silent and yung presensya lang talaga niya ay gustong tapusin itong laban. 9-4 score and still, Z Brian with a good exchange dito sa first round netong laban na ito. Pero makikita mo pa rin naman, Arsec will fall down. Ibang klase yung pinapakitang presensya ngayon ng R7. Knowing the presence of the presence ni Silent.
Silent.
Enough na enough yan with a 2K ngayon. Pero syempre, papatahimikin muna ang mga players ngayon ng R7. 1v1. Zik up against the side of Linkel. Sino ang mas lamang? Pero syempre, makikita natin yung C4 nandun sa mismong site na kailangan ngayon kunin ni Zik.
Yep, Linkel may hawak ng C4 dito. Siya rin may hawak ng missile. So, advantage slightly in her favor. Pero hindi napansin si Zeke. Nasa gilid. And just like that, the series is over. R7, they are here to play dito sa group stage natin. And what a recovery from yung initial start nila dito sa Masters pare na they got back the 2 maps that they needed to win to go equal dito sa group stage. And now, I think 2-2 na yung record nila, men.
Ibang klase yung naging performance nila. And yung factor na na-outplay nila bawat round ang side ng SBK. Ibang klase knowing the presence of Silent, mas nag-pull off ngayon yung kanyang presensya up against the side of SBK. And wow, grabe yung opensa na ginawa nila all throughout that second half. Mas naging maganda yung impact on their team to secure the map number 2. At napakabilis lang din itong series number 1 natin for their team at mukhang excited talaga silang tapusin ito.
Yeah, SBK is still a lot to learn dito sa group stage natin. Obviously, not having Ishida is a big problem. And ayun nga, unfortunately, it was Linkel dun sa first map or map. Dito sa second map, I think they might have to run more port or sub-base games sa future pubs nila. And ayun nga, just a bit more practical sa SBK. They had some good moments pero R7, this is such a different R7 kumpara sa week 1. Week 2 R7 is different pare.
Ibang klase talaga yung mga factor, yung nagiging pag-grind ng mga players natin, knowing kada week nandun yung improvement nila and there's gonna be the last day ng ating week number 2 for this wonderful matchup na itong dalawang team na ito. For sure, kailangan talagang bumawi on the side of SBK kasi napakadami pa nilang natitirang laban up against other opponents dito sa CFS PH Impact. So, for sure, ang dami nilang natutunan up against the side of R7 dun sa naging lineup or dun sa naging performance ng kanilang kalaban.
Yeah, looking forward to it, man. but also, itong si Zeke, man. Si Zeke on port dun sa map number 1, open things up para dito sa side ng R7 to gain yung kanilang entries. He tried to do the exact same thing dito sa sub-base, but it's a lot harder na maglaro ng entry dito sa sub-base because you're most likely dying first para sa team mo. So, still, props to that kay Arsec. It was a bit of a down day para kay Arsec, but does he even care, pare? He won at the end of the day. Pero makikita natin yung highlights.
Ayan, makikita nga natin sa highlights yung naging performance simula first half on the side of SBK. Yes, napakaganda ng kanilang simula. Nakakapagsabayan sila or nakikipagsabayan sila up against the gunfights ng R7. Pero dito natin makikita kung paano nga ba talaga nag-pull off yung magandang performance on the side of Zeke, Linkel, Zach on the side of SBK. Pero dun sa second half, makikita mo kung paano pinunish or paano nilinis ng mga players on the side of R7 etong laban na ito. With the presence ni Zeke, Silent, Charles, and the rest of the squad. Nandyan rin naman si Arsec, and overall, with a good performance ang mga players ng R7, and looking forward talaga sa side ng SBK kung paano sila makapag-adapt sa ganitong mga playstyle na ginagawa ng kanilang mga kalaban.
Yeah, looking forward dito sa what SPK can do next week, to be honest, with Ishida being back in the fray. Granted, yun nga, Imnida, really nice job galing sa kanya dito, standing on in, and hindi siya naging slouch para sa kanyang team. But we do have a bit of the set summary very, very soon. It's actually right here. Malalaman na natin who fragged out the most para dito sa REA7 for the MVP, and it's obviously si Silent. 2 kills per round. That's a mind-blowing stat. And para kay Va, 1.5 kills per round. Yikes.
Yeah. Pero SBK, napaganda pa rin talaga ng performance nila. Knowing Zach, tinatry niya pa rin talaga. And overall, Z, Brian, Linkel, Ermac, and Imnida, maganda pa rin talaga yung naging overall performance nila. Pero mas umangat lang rin talaga knowing the second half ng ating score. 5 straight rounds na punta ng second half on the side of R7 at walang naging sagot yan up against the side of SBK. And again, doon natin nakita nga yung naging magandang performance pa and overall stats ni Silent, and I think parang siya ata talaga yung MVP para dito sa ating match na ito on the sub-base.
And yeah, still props dito kay Imnida, 1.2 kill per round. Brian with 1.1. Zach, of course, just as consistent para dito sa SPK. Nice try. Galing kay Ermac at kay Linkel. I know you guys are capable of a lot more, for sure. So we are gonna see yung MVP natin, and it's obviously itong si Silent putting up insane stats nung map number 1 pa lang, and map number 2, he just turned it up to 11 pa.
Ibang klase yung naging performance overall on the side of Silent, and deserving maging match MVP talaga for this set number 2. Pero syempre, kailangan bantayan ngayon ng ibang mga teams dito sa CFS PH Impact na makita nila yung iba't ibang mga performance ng players ng REA7, and this is gonna be the match result na umabot lang tayo ng set number 2. 10-7 score ng set 1 and 10-4 dito sa sub-base map natin. And now, REA7, makakuha nga agad sila ng 2-0 sweep. Napakabilis talaga at this point for the series.
Yep, and not as fast as yung, of course, yung the last series of yesterday ng X-Solo Q and Ubek Maniac, the literal 27-minute best of 3. And yeah, that was interesting to see to say the least. Pero yun nga, that is it para sa first best of 3 of the day para dito CFS Impact 2024 week number 2, day number 2. Na yeah, we will see you guys in just a bit after this break. Babalik tayo with more CF.